Pastor Roy Gerhardt from Galloway United Methodist Church in Franklin, Pennsylvania, sharing a few words of encouragement to help us follow after Jesus. Years ago, there was a bumper sticker that was popular. It said, God is my co-pilot. It sounded very spiritual. Finally, somebody got smart and came out with another bumper sticker that said, if God is your co-pilot, you're in the wrong seat. So I moved today. Because the point is that if you think that you're the one in charge of your life and God is there just to assist you in achieving your goals and objectives, then you've got things completely upside down. You're not really thinking as a follower of Jesus, as a disciple. You're not living and acting as someone who believes that God is the one who really is in charge, who really does know what's going on, and is the one truly worth following. In fact, when you're a disciple of Jesus, what you and I come to believe is that instead of thinking that it would be foolish to turn over the reins of your life to someone else, you look at God and say, I'd be a fool not to follow him. And so we set out to follow the Lord. Now, a lot of people think that the real challenge in following the Lord is being able to know what God's will is, to be able to discern that, or to overcome obstacles, things that make it difficult to follow the Lord. But I want to say this, that the real struggle in following the Lord are not the external obstacles, and it's not a lack of God making his will clear. The problem is right in here. The obstacle is right here, because the real struggle is not finding out what is God's will, but having a desire to genuinely know it and follow after him. And you see, the people of Israel, when they left Egypt, they had God leading them, and God made it incredibly easy. And I find over the years that God's will is actually easier to discern and find as you dig into his word, as you pray and genuinely seek after him, that it's easier than first expected. In fact, a lot of young Christians will say, I just don't know how to follow God's will. And they'll ask a lot of questions about that. I remember as a young believer in Christ having all kinds of questions about how do I know what God's will is. But as you follow the Lord, you begin to realize, no, God can, in fact, make it pretty evident. And he did that with the people of Israel on this journey in such an amazing way that he gave them a cloud that would rise in front of them during the day, and a flame that would burn at night, so that it was absolutely evident, whether it was day or night, here's where the Lord is. You can go this way following after him. But then what the Lord did was he brought them to that place where they were up against the Red Sea and Pharaoh's army is behind them. And what's revealed is that the real struggle in following the Lord is not about knowing what God's will is. It's about really being willing in our own hearts to trust him. Because when things get tough, you've got the choice of either being willing to say, God has been leading me. It's been evident. God has made himself known. I've heard the voice of the Lord and I know him, and I'm going to trust him through this moment when I'm not sure what the next step is, and I'm going to hold on whenever I'm meeting that external obstacle. Or you can just come unraveled. And that's what happened with the people of Israel at that moment. There was many of them that just came up to Moses and went off on him. They said, here's Pharaoh behind us. Here's the sea in front of us. We can't get anywhere. You brought us out here to get us killed. And so they are just denouncing the whole thing and giving up entirely. And so that you see right away that the struggle is in them. All that they can see are the obstacles out there around them. And they think that's the big problem. This is the real issue, is whether or not God can remove those obstacles. And Jesus said, though, that if you and I have just a drop of faith, just the faith that the size of a mustard seed, which is a speck, that we could move mountains. And so that the external obstacle, it can seem so huge and so looming. And if it does, to the point that we lose all faith and we just are ready to denounce the Lord and quit and actually go back into slavery in order to get out of that situation. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Now we see where the real struggle is and the real obstacle that God is looking to deal with. Because you see, God brings them to that point to show them, I can remove the external obstacles, but that internal obstacle of your faithlessness, of your willingness to quit, that's the bigger obstacle. And that's the one that I'm really here to conquer. Because I can move water, I can move mountains, but what I really want to do is move your heart to trust me, to believe in me, and to walk with me by faith. May God bless you today. And as you share this good news, may God make you a blessing wherever He takes you.